Shout out to all of you who are still here. Today we're going to cover Mr. David Goggins, particularly with the scenario that he's facing right now. And for all of you who don't know, for all of you who don't know who he is an inspirational speaker who emphasizes on hitting and grinding and running until your body runs out. He's basically one of those self-improvement dudes to the max, right? And he is a former Navy vet. He documented his experience there before and as an inspirational speaker slash motivator in some famous books that he has. I think one of them is named "Don't Hurt Me Now" or "Don't Hurt Me." Sounds like a good read. Might check it out in the future. But in the meantime, he's found himself in some water where his daughter, who goes by the name of Jade M. Goggins, uploaded some pictures of her and him on TikTok referencing, yeah, do you recognize who this guy is? It's my father who wasn't there. And as a result of that, the entire internet exploded, basically trying to say that David Goggins is a deadbeat father. Now, what I've noticed, and I'll play this soon enough, but what I've noticed is that the kind of individuals who are going after Mr. Goggins, they're pretty similar in the sense that a lot of these are very, I'm just going to say this, community-oriented individuals. Individuals who probably voted for Miss Harris in the last election. And I'm not saying those who are supporting Goggins or looking at both sides of the aisle and looking at this more evenly are Trump supporters, but I have noticed that. So do not think that that hasn't been noted by me, at least. Now, I gotta give a shout out to our brothers from mothers, particularly David Goggins fans or supporters, or the ones who have been inspired by him for the most part, and military individuals, fellow former veterans, most of whom are non-black, who are saying that, hey, this is more nuanced than just him being a deadbeat father. This is involving him going to the Navy going to the Navy for, not Marines, but for Navy SEALs, which has a high divorce rate, him being linked up with this woman who he met when he was in dire straits, having a kid in dire straits, which obviously leads to high divorce rates as well. And in a lot of instances, from what I'm hearing, the daughter was basically being coerced by the mom. Now, I'm not saying that he isn't a deadbeat, or he is, but we're going to go through some of these videos, and I'll let you be the judge of it. The first video is actually him on a podcast revealing that he actually had a daughter and the complications on why their relationship isn't as rosy as you should expect or you would expect.
Have you considered what
Shout out to Chris Williamson's podcast.
you would be like as a father?
Yeah, I actually have a daughter right now. Yeah,
No way. I didn't know.
yeah. I have a daughter right now. But that being said, I'm an open, honest person. When you meet people at a young age, so I had a kid at a young age when I was in the worst possible place in my life. So when you're in a bad place, you're not going to meet a Kish. You're going to meet a person that's very similar to who you are at that time. And then you bring a child into this world. And as you start to move up in this world and get better, and you realize I need to get better, you try to pull that person along with you. A lot of times they don't want to come where you're going. And it creates a bad environment. So that's where that is right now.
Talking.
My daughter's 21 years old, though.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yep.
I think that it would be all of the learnings and stuff that you've been through as a father, as a son, as a grandson.
all right. So they go into detail more about just the familiar relations in general. But yeah, he did mention that he had a daughter, and at the recording of this was, I believe, 2 years ago, or maybe this was 2018 or 2023. Anyway, Jade M. Goggins is in her 20s, which does match the uploads and the age of the individual who did say that, hey, my dad, Mr. David Goggins, who all of you look up to, is a deadbeat. However, now we're going to hear from David Goggins because we've heard from everybody else, particularly the individuals who are trying to compare him to Goku and say he loves training more than being with his family and he's a deadbeat and yeah, he's not community certified, so we got to roast him. But yeah, this video was done, I don't want to say, yeah, it's like about a week ago where he's at a conference and he basically faces on all the accusations.
Been asked to be where I am. So I talk a lot about it. She came out on, she's done a couple things, one on Facebook a few years ago. She did something on Reddit, and she just did something here about a week ago on TikTok. Y'all can get your phone, her name is Jade M. Goggins. You may not have any context about it, but go to Jade M. Goggins.
So he is inviting the crowd to follow her on TikTok, which I went to her TikTok and it's basically disabled, so you can't see anything. So I would show the pictures, but yeah, she basically just blocked it. So I'm wondering what's really going on here and who's really pulling the strings.
And look it up. Basically, what she does is she calls me an absent father. She's never seen me before, doesn't know who I am, type of shit. That's how it makes it look. Which is a fucking lie. She did something in 2018 on Facebook saying I was a deadbeat dad. She did something on Reddit with more deadbeat dad shit. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to explain this to you if you guys even want to hear it, but you asked me a question. So I'm going to try my best to put it in as much context as I can. Me and her mom got divorced when she was about 1 year old. Her mom thought I was her soulmate. Her mom cannot stand me, period, dot. She pretty much made my daughter hate me. I was in her life until she was about 15, and I would try to explain what happened. And I don't like talking without proof. So,
all right, so if you look at Jade's pictures, Jade actually has David, the father, in her life, and two, embracing each other, at least for one picture. So there is that. So all of this deadbeat stuff, I mean, well, we'll listen.
So let me back up for a second. As far as the deadbeat dad thing goes, all that shit started, obviously, when people do that, they want to hurt you. There's been videos out there about me being a deadbeat dad. People who don't like me were very excited to see we got something on the superhero David Goggins. He's not a good father. I wish I could sit up here right now and tell you all, because this is what I like to do. I like to come up here right now and own it. I like to own the fucked up shit in my life. It makes it easier. I come up here, I tell you all as a fucking deadbeat dad, I didn't see my daughter, I'm a piece of shit. What are y'all gonna say then? Nothing. Fucking bullshit! Exactly. So, I can't say that to you all because it's bullshit. I've never one time attacked my daughter, I've never one time attacked my ex-wife, I've seen this stuff for years. People have made videos on me, that's my daughter. No matter how the fuck she doesn't like me, that is my fucking daughter. So, I do not attack her, I don't go after her, I just sit in the fucking middle of it and suck it the fuck up. And let people dog the shit out of me, call me Debbie. You know what? Go out there and Google pictures of me and my daughter, you're gonna see. There's a case that just happened, okay? Oh my God. There's a court case that just happened. It's 6 years. So, I got this. I'm fucking shaking my ass off right now. Okay?
By the way, I got the court case as well. So mind you, this is a very pro Goggins crowd, so it might come up a bit biased. So.
Because there was a court case going on.
And I'm going to play this at 1.25 speed because this is about 20 minutes. I'm going to get through as much of this as possible. So I'm just going to do 1.25 speed.
And they were like, I'll explain the court case in 2 minutes. We're trying to find this thing for you all. I can fucking find this shit. Just read that right there.
It says, thank you. He has never, all capitalized, missed a payment, so I figured something was wrong. Thank you.
Okay, so what they're talking about is a child support payment. I've never missed a child support payment, okay? Why is that important? They went out there calling me Deadbeat Dad, trying to make it look like not only did I not see her, I wasn't paying child support. So I had to take all these pictures because they were going out there calling me Deadbeat Dad. Okay, so
Payment.
all right, so I want you to read that right there. Just read that right there.
I'm just repeating it.
Thank you. He has never, all capitalized, missed a payment, so I figured something was wrong. Thank you.
Okay, so what they're talking about is a child support payment. I've never missed a child support payment, okay? Why is that important? They went out there calling me Deadbeat Dad, trying to make it look like not only did I not see her, I wasn't paying child support. So I had to take all these pictures because they were going out here. I never used them. People came to me wanting to know what's going on. We're seeing this, we're seeing that. I'm not going to talk about my daughter. I stood on that. Anyway, I was in a court case. They took me to court. They did because my daughter and my ex-wife kind of morphed into one. When someone at
That
a
happens
young
a
age,
lot.
my daughter did not like me. And it only comes from one person, the mother. That said, I'm going to explain to you. You have to look it up yourself. I want to show you some proof. So in 2016, they took me to court, and they wanted to modify child support. That year, I made about $12,000. Got out of the military, did 21 years in the military. So you know, being in the military, you're going to pay your fucking child support. They
That's
said
true.
like I wasn't. I did
Yeah.
every fucking time which you spent. Okay, let's move forward now. Lee, my ex-wife, thought that I was making millions and millions of dollars in 2016 because I was on podcasts. They thought being on podcasts, you made money. They saw me on TV, they thought.
All right, so he just confirmed that the ex-wife's name is Lee, which does match the court case in Indiana, which in the case of Lee C. Pritchard versus David Goggins, you can find it right here at mycase.in.gov. This goes back to 2016, as he did mention, and this was a back and forth between 2016 and earlier this year when the case was closed, where we'll go through that in a bit on how much he actually paid, but I think he explains it in the video.
I was broke as shit. And you can look it up. Lee Pritchard, David Goggins court case. Look it the fuck up. It's out there. I don't give a shit. They deleted all those comments on TikTok. They didn't want that to be out there. Long story short, my daughter is 24 years old now. Child support in Indiana ends at 19. My book came out December of 2018. So if I wanted to keep money from my daughter, I would have waited 8 more months.
Push it back.
Push it back. That's not me, bro, but they don't want to tell that story. Anyway, long story short, please look it up, people. I went from $12,000 to $100 and some odd thousand to $500 and some odd $1,000 I made. They never wanted more money. They thought I was hiding money in offshore accounts and all kind of shit. Never finished. Again, Hurt Me comes out December 2018. I make a good bit of money. My daughter lives in Brazil, Indiana. The average income for a family of 4 is $30,000. Look it up. I never missed a child support payment. On top of that, I also paid the extra. The extras, dance class, this, that, the other thing. No one knows that. Long story short, never finished. Can't Hurt Me came out December 18. Child support ended for her. She was 19 in August 2020. So that's about 18 months. 18 months. I made $500,000 in 2018. So the judgment, straight off the calculator, it was the most child support given in the history of child support. They don't want to tell you that. So for 18 months, because from 2018 to August of 2020, when Jay turned 19, that's when it stopped. All right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'm saying the book, because that's where the majority of the money came from. In 18 months, she got $743,000
Child support.
in child support.
I feel your
Okay?
pain.
They didn't want to talk about that.
I feel your pain.
And I didn't want to talk about TV
I heard that.
story. But guess what? Johnny, where you at? You over there? Catch this microphone for a second. Get up. Get up here. Because they want to know. So this is my best friend, Johnny. Now, when I gave him $743,000, I paid for it. I ended up getting him $914,000 because I had to pay for their lawyer's bills.
Right.
So, what the fuck did I tell you 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, he says, hey, you know what I'm thinking about what I did?
Hey, put that motherfucker to your mouth.
He said, hey, you know what I want to do? I want to give Jay, my daughter, a cool $250,000 more, so she has a cool $1 million.
Cool man.
No. I'll go a step further. What's even more crazy to me? Push your mouth. Hey, what's even more crazy is he was like, when the book came out, he basically said, because they were part of my life and they were in the book, his 2 ex-wives, who has kids and remarried, he said, I want to retire them too. I was like, God dang.
Oh, you hear that?
That's even more crazy.
Okay. Now, Mom, if you're willing, you're not gonna do the fucking word I say.
All right. He's willing to retire the daughter, and he already paid the child support, and he was always up. Granted, he was in the military, so he was going to be on time with child support. But yeah, even afterwards, yeah, he kept the record of paying his child support to the point that he was never late, and trying to retire people who he was no longer romantically involved in. Well, I mean, I'll be the daughter. I mean, yeah, obviously you're gonna have a connection, but still.
Do you mind just telling him 2 minutes so we can get this fucking thing over with? I'll never do this shit again. Then yeah, you come up here and somebody have my mom get up here. All right, look, I've never done this before. I'll never do this shit again. So you guys think about this. I don't know any of you motherfuckers. This is my fucking worst nightmare in my fucking life. But guess what? I ain't running from it.
There. All right, so right now he's introducing Miss David Goggins, basically David Goggins' mom, so, and she will explain her side of this scenario.
All right, I don't know. You're not gonna believe a damn word I say because why? It's like Lee's word against my word type shit. But they talk about me being a deadbeat dad and an absent dad.
But to be fair, your mom is still an extension of you, so obviously mom is going to defend her kids. She's going to defend her boy. So it's sort of still your word against hers.
I took pictures of every fucking text message me and my daughter had during this court case because the text messages were horrible. I took every email, I did all this shit because they were literally, it was defamation of character. Y'all can go out there and look at it, man. Go out there and look at the fucking court case. Go out there and also look at the fact that this woman, my ex-wife, filed for divorce from her husband after she got all this fucking money. Anyway, don't get me fucking started. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want tit for tat. I want facts. Mom, you got anything?
All right.
Hey,
This guy's messing.
I'm just fucking pissed the fuck off right now. I'm shaking this shit.
Okay, I'm not going to take up a lot of your time because I'm also pissed off. I don't even want to be up here, and that's the honest God truth. But I have to tell you, somebody told me about the video. I don't have TikTok, didn't have TikTok, didn't even know how to get TikTok, but I kept hearing about this video. So I asked somebody to help me get an account. I suppose that's what it is. And I had to respond because David's been called a lot of things, a lot of unkind things. Some of them are true. I even agree with some of them. But I could not and did not agree with the bullshit about deadbeat dad and absent dad. I couldn't let it go.
And people say David gets his potty mouth from being in the Navy. Okay. All jokes aside, shout out to Miss Goggins.
So I'm going to try to hold this together, and I just have to tell you, I did respond. I responded, and I put my little TikTok stuff out there. And I had to tell the truth about conversations that I had as a grandmother with my granddaughter about her dad. How she never called him dad. She always referred to him as David. As a young girl, he was David to her. I called him dad more than she did.
And note, this was when Jade was in David's life, or Dave Goggins was in Jade's life.
Whenever I'd ask her to come visit me, she would say, only if David is not going to be there. That hurt me. That hurt David.
But That does not sound like Jade, as a kid at least. Maybe as an adult she was speaking on her own, but that does not sound like the words of an individual who is acting unilaterally.
I would beg her to try to have a relationship with her dad, and she said no. Now you all know, and it's no secret, that David's dad was a piece of shit. He's dead now. But he beat us. He beat David to the point where I couldn't send him to school on certain days. But I made him, after I left, I made him go see his dad. Because that's what mothers are supposed to do.
But during physical
As
abuse,
much as I wanted to hurt his dad, and I really did because he hurt us, I couldn't use my kids to do that. I could not weaponize my children to hurt their dad.
Amazing mom.
And it wasn't until one incident when I was begging Jade to come spend the night with me and her dad. And she refused multiple times in front of him. Then he finally said, Mom, quit. Mom, stop. And I did. I had no idea how much I was hurting David by trying to convince his daughter to be in his life. Now, I know that I'm the mother, and anything I say, she's his mom, she's gonna say whatever she wants him to say. But I gotta tell you, because of this TikTok video, so much was out there about David that's not true. I didn't want people to think that what I was saying was not true. So I wanted to get proof. So I do have, would you help me do this? I hate this, I swear to God, I hate this. Is your phone ready?
well, we got more evidence.
He asked the fucking question, boy.
All right, so I thought maybe if we had words, Jade's words, David's words, so you don't have to believe me. And here's the exchange between the absentee dad, David.
Absentee.
Now I'm gonna read it. No, I'm gonna read it. Sorry you feel the way you do about me. You don't even thank me for the things I've done. I sent you $1,000 for your 16th birthday and don't even get a thank you. I have never gotten a thank you for anything I've done for you. Not to mention you have never wished me happy birthday, Father's Day, or anything else. I'm not going to do this back and forth with you. One day you will see I am a good man. If you don't, I understand. I never liked my father either because he beat me. Now I just want to read the response from Jade. I will never, ever see that you are a good man because there will never be a day you ever see me again. You will never see me again, ever. And then you know how she ended it? Have a great life, David. Have a great life, David. So I just wanted you to know.
Now, if you get something like that from your daughter after paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in child support, up to $1 million, and also giving untold thousands of dollars off the script from the child support, only to be told, have a great life, David, because you will never see me again. Not because of what you did, but at the most what you didn't do, as in being in the freaking Navy SEALs for so long. And as others have stated, the Navy SEALs has a high divorce rate. Just a high divorce rate. I mean, the military itself has a high divorce rate because of just various reasons. But I, through my research, have not found anything that Jade M. Goggins said that would warrant this kind of visceral reaction, at least unilaterally. I'm not saying he's not a deadbeat. I'm not even saying he is a deadbeat. But I'm trying to find what is driving this Jade individual so fervently passionate against David?
The truth? Yeah, he's a tough man, but this hurt the shit out of him and me.
All right, so here you go. So when you go to TikTok and you see the video, you see a picture of me and my daughter. And then what you see is my absent father. So what I didn't tell you all, the reason why I've been absent from her life for the last several years is because of what you just heard.
This is the Real Housewives of New
When I
York.
went up, I couldn't stand my mom from
Real Housewives.
So when my daughter just kept saying, I don't want to see anymore, I don't want to see anymore, I don't want to see anymore, roger that. That's how that went.
First of all, that is not where I thought I was headed. Second of all, there is nobody more fucking authentic than you. It's really deep, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's time for questions, right?
it's deep, you know? I've asked you a lot of questions.
It's not like for the audience.
I know, but that was wild, bro. I appreciate you sharing it. I appreciate you sharing it. Very, very true, man. Let's get, you got Mike over there. Mike.
All right, so that's a response from Mr. Goggins. He defended himself. He didn't hold back any punches, and he told the story at least from his perspective. Now, are we going to get a response from Miss Jaden Goggins or from the mother, the Miss Pritchard, the first wife, Lee C. Pritchard versus David Goggins? And like, I am not a legal expert, but from the references here and from the information, it seems like the amount of money that was paid was quite a bit. So the restitution, you had $202,000. Transaction assessments are all over the place. I'm seeing 707, 742,000, yeah, 707K, some court filings and fees. But yeah, this was quite a pretty penny that Mr. Goggins paid. So I mean, if you want to call him a deadbeat, that's fine, but nothing here or what I've heard from David Goggins, his mother, nor for that matter, his daughter, screams he's the biggest deadbeat in the world. I'm not saying that he was the most present father. I'm not even saying that he was even a good father. He came out of the military, broke, and then all of a sudden he blew up and then went on all these shows. So he was away during his time in the military. He served 21 years for good reason, so I'm not going to even blame him for that. Then afterwards, he still had a distant physical location because apparently I think he was in California after the military versus the daughter still being in Indiana. I'm not saying that he should have moved back to Indiana. I wouldn't blame anyone for not going back to Indiana, especially brothers, and especially brothers who are on point, because from recent videos, all we've seen when it comes to brothers from Indiana are just crash outs. I'm not going to go into that. But in any case, Mr. Goggins and his explanation from what I have seen so far, from what his mother has said, from what the daughter has said, or even the ex-wife, this does not scream an absolute deadbeat, nor father of the year. But I'll leave all of you to make your judgments. And apparently, Mr. Goggins did just upload a recent video going after haters, so we might react to that next. In the meantime, everyone else out there, always bet on X.